Why am I so different from them?
Earth's sun is younger and brighter than Krypton's was. Your cells have drunk in its radiation, strengthening your muscles, your skin, your senses. Earth's gravity is weaker, yet its atmosphere is more nourishing. You've grown stronger here than I ever could have imagined. The only way to know how strong is to keep testing your limits. You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. They will race behind you. They will stumble. They will fall. But in time, they will join you in the sun, Cal. In time, you will help them accomplish wonders.
Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the man whose parents told them to leave people to die and that humanity doesn't deserve them. See why, Sean?
Well, yeah, makes sense. And the guy that will piss in a jar and tell someone it's peach tea, Carl Charles.
Now, we are going to have a look at cool moments on the DCEU, or the DC Extended Universe, or, DC Zack Snyder Universe, however you want to put it, right?
Snyderverse, or not.
And we're going to lump this in what we are going to call Phase 1, even though there's not really phases in this, but we'll end it with Justice League.
Yeah.
2017 / the 2021 Snyder Cut as well, because they make sense to do them both at the same time if we're going to do that. So including those two films, we've got Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad, and Wonder Woman as well.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Whether you, this universe is controversial.
yeah, it has good bits. It has bad bits.
Yeah. So we'll just try and concentrate, stuff that we liked.
Yeah.
But, sometimes you have to bring in other bits where, you can say, maybe the lead-up wasn't so good or whatever, right? But out of context, this situation is cool. That's what I'm finding with most of these films, by the way. Well, most of the Zack Snyder portion of these films is, if you're like, okay, just watch this bit here.
Yeah.
In this little segment.
It feels like it didn't, the payoff didn't stick the landing, if you know what I mean. It's like,
Yeah.
It kind of went left instead of going right.
Yeah. But if you're like, okay, visually this is actually striking with no background behind it, whatever it is, it's like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. I will say, we'll just go in order, but Man of Steel.
Yep.
When Superman starts to fly, the first time he puts his costume and does that, the thing, when Henry Cavill actually smiles, right?
Yeah.
Instead of being grouchy, or looking grouchy, yeah. But he's just when he's flying the first time, that's actually a really good scene.
Yeah, it is.
It actually, the music as well builds towards it.
Yeah, it does. It sets the mood.
Yeah.
Or the tone.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Exactly. I mean, more of that would have made this bit more of a Superman film.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. To me personally, I like this interpretation of Superman because to me it feels more realistic.
Yeah. Well, hold on.
What?
Okay, there's arguments between believability, realistic, and then true to the source material, and then you got also the general feel of the character is correct, even though the movie isn't. Yeah. Yeah, so it all depends on what you like, right?
Yeah.
Some people like it because it's not the traditional version of Superman. But then it's like, why are you watching a film that is not of the character that you're expecting it to be like? You know, it's like if I okay, the 60s Batman was not. You watch that now and you're like, well, that's not Batman, right?
Yeah.
So even though you use that back in the 60s, it was similar to what was going on in comics at the time. So
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
have one of those really awkward shift and tone things. But anyways, we're not speaking about that.
No,
right?
No.
The CGI actually looks really good in this as well.
Yeah, CGI is amazing.
So you don't get that rubbery feel sometimes. I mean, like mostly the cape is CG.
Yeah, most of it is, but like you kind of don't notice if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks sort of real and it flows. It like moves and everything like realistically. So it's like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, whether you say it's too CG reliant on certain things or not, it's but yeah.
Yeah,
it looks solid, right, most of the time. Even though, like some of these costumes and stuff like that, like Zod's armor suit stuff like that, it's CG, but you don't even realize it.
No.
Not to say, you can walk around it, but you think, maybe they built something similar to that that's kind of able to be worn.
Yeah.
But so, yeah. The bit where he rescued the the people in that fiery burning tower in the middle of the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, Henry Cavill. I mean, Superman. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was neat as well.
That was really good.
Yeah. The fact is as well when he's holding the construction, and because it's so heavy, it's not his strength that gives way. It's the what's underneath his feet starts bending.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I like that.
But you could say, wait a minute. At this point, shouldn't he be in control of all his powers because he's like 30 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Hey, look, man, the Smallville version took 10 years to fly, so hey, you know what?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's for this version, it made sense because he's trying to hide.
Yeah, he's not out
his
in the
parents, open. Right? It always felt odd to me, okay, that Jor-El's telling him you can save the world, and then the Kents are like, please don't, you might, show yourself.
Yeah.
Ish. Right?
Yeah.
But, and I always think it should have been the other way around ish. Yeah, because, you would expect the father whose planet has been blown up to say to his son, yo, you're the last of our kind. You don't try not to show yourself.
Yeah, I get that.
And then you could go at the end of it, towards the middle of the film, right? It's like, all this time I told you not to do it. You did it, and you were right, and I was wrong. And then it could reconcile a bit before Zod shuts him down and kills him. But that's that. There was a bit though where Jor-El's guiding Lois through the spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of through the Kryptonian spaceship. That was kind of neat as well. Kind of fun.
Like, I did sort of like the weird controversial relationship between between them, the father son, like his dad telling him not to save him because then he'll be out in the open, and I kind of get why he does it, so that's why it was kind of fine with me. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Makes sense.
Well, it's all in the execution. The thing is like, when you say, okay, I can see what they're doing, right? See what they're doing, it's fine. But you're explaining it, like the character's just explaining one side. You're not actually trying to say they are. But if you did this, is all they have to do was say something like, "I'm proud of you," but blah blah blah. At least then it's like you got both sides of the things, and then it's up to the Kal-El character to decide which way is best later on, right? But it's just basically when you feed him like, but one side but not the other side ish, or make him feel bad for doing it, or it's kind of it's all it's where you have to. If it was me or whoever, right?
Yeah.
You can understand why they're doing that, but they don't explain it enough. Where you're thinking, okay, as a character on TV, on a movie,
Yeah.
maybe you need to clarify a bit more. It's one of those situations where you see people do stupid things in a TV program or a movie or whatever media, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, that's dumb. You shouldn't do that. However, people in real life also do that. All stupid things, right?
Yeah.
It is, and you could also say in real life, you say that's dumb. You shouldn't be doing that either, right?
Yeah.
But when you're caught up in the moment or whatever, that's realistic.
Yeah.
But you don't want to see people doing that.
No.
Unless there's a particular reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Yeah. Like Zod saying, I'll destroy the entire, I would destroy Earth and terraform it to Krypton. Right?
Yeah.
Now, I'd say Michael Shannon I could get why Zod would do that. That's acting for you, right?
Yeah.
I could get why he'd do that. And he full on heel for doing that, right?
Yeah.
But in his own mind, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
But he just goes too far to the extreme. You're like, yeah, but you might think that's all correct, yeah?
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that comes across crystal clear. As how it's written on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Even though, realistically speaking, you could also say, well, he's like, we could just live on Earth with these Earthlings, right? And we'd be gods. And they don't have to bother us. And we could just have our own section of the Earth and live in peace, right? Because they can't really stop us. But we'll just stay away from them because we don't want to cause trouble. Could have just done that.
But not really, because how to explain Zod's character, it wouldn't work. Because
no, that's what I'm saying. If you were saying it's the arguments between realism and...
Yeah, because if it was say it was someone else, not Zod, that came, then I reckon, they could have said, oh yeah, we could, live on the same planet. But
it's one of those things where they explain in the movie as well, how they're all born with predestined careers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his thought process as being designed to be a general is that.
Yeah, it's like, kill, take over, carry on. That's my.
And I will say he's completely consistent with that. So
he is.
And then you're like, even from the beginning, you're like, he kind of, it's just so rigid that he's going to be a problem later on. Yeah. I will say as well, all the fights, the action is pretty good in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the first fight between him and, is her name Ursa?
Fiora.
Yeah, there we go. Is her name Fiora?
Yeah, in this, anyways.
Oh, either way. Anyway, her.
You're thinking of Superman 2.
Yes, I am. Terrible. Yeah, that fight in Smallville, that's pretty awesome. I was like, man, nice gangster.
Even though it's one of those things where you also, do you want? Aren't they unsure of having Superman beat up a woman, right? Because she throws so many punches at him.
Yeah.
And to be fair as well, she's fighting like a person who's trained to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and Superman's fighting like a brute, even though he's got a bit more experience and visibility. Don't seem to be using him to its maximum efficiency.
Well, we still.
But exactly. But he's like mostly fighting the landing punches on the other guy. Whereas when he's fighting Fiora, he's just like throwing her around and stuff, like not actually punching her in the face.
Yeah, he's trying to just stop her rather than fight her. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Subdue her. That's it. Subdue her.
But we'll play it up in the side in the in the category of she's just a better fighter than him, adapting to the abilities she has.
Yeah. That was.
And she does some dirty combo on him, like when he's in the cafeteria or whatever they're fighting, and she's just blocking him and just sending him flying. And it's good because they're not afraid to make him look not weak, right? But on the downside of a fight, then it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Does.
Yeah.
The dream sequence. Well, I say dream sequence. You know when I think him and Zod go into the Codex or whatever, and then you see. I like that bit. That's pretty cool. Also, when, like you said before, when Jor-El helped Lois get out of the Kryptonian ship, that was pretty good. And then Superman saves her. And then
I have to say, strangely enough, I think Feyora is actually quite a standout character here.
yeah,
Because she gets to do stuff, and then she gets her own little feud with the general, the colonel on the other side.
yeah.
Right? And she's just battering all the troops, and then he gets a knife to go and fight her. And first of all, like, you could say, "Oh, he's an idiot," because she'll destroy him. But it's just like, you know what? He's got guts, right?
Yeah.
He knows he knows he's not gonna live for this fight, right? But he's not gonna stand there.
No.
Just getting to die,
Yeah.
And she looks at him like, all right, you want to fight? I'll give you one. And then luckily for him, right, he waits to do his first stab, and then Superman comes and saves, sends a clothesline Feyora or whatever, and just spears out of the way or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you know what, you got guts, mate. You got, and then towards the end where he's the one where she's about to finish him, and he's going to crash the ship into the
dubstep machine. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just like they got their own little thing going on the side,
Yeah, man, that was pretty. Totally forgot about that. I was like, oh, he's got his own little subplot going on. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Superman withstand the power of the dubstep machine, that whole bit was pretty cool. Like the scene itself, like the CGI and all that. Yeah. I think it looked really impressive. I like this. This is
the world engine. The world engine. The dubstep machine, but I prefer it as the dubstep machine.
Machine. Vroom, 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 vroom. It's the best.
Yeah.
That was good. I did like the scenes where Metropolis was getting destroyed. I don't class it as destruction porn. I think it all looked pretty good.
Yes. Okay. Now, yeah. It's one of those dodgy things where you're like, if he was experienced beforehand, you would not have that. The city would not be destroyed.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Also, you know who's directing this film, right? Zack Snyder loved his action. I want to say his action / destruction, but he loved action and the consequences of the action.
Yeah.
Right. And in this case, they're finding a city. I'm gonna have buildings get destroyed. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So. You know what you're going in for.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I will say it's a neat battle, right? As much as people could say it could be avoided like that.
Well.
It's just like, well, yeah, but in the and I would mostly agree, but it's just like, well, you know who's in it, you know where the characters are going with this story.
Yeah.
Neither of them, if one character is just not experienced to fight, to be able to control the fight even, and the other characters want to destroy stuff as he's going along.
Yeah.
Because what they do is fine, right? Whether you like it or not, unfortunately. Because there would always be destruction somewhere. Right?
Yeah.
So wherever they go, Zod's going to lead it to a place where there's a high amount of mortality rate.
Yeah, because it makes his job easier in the end. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, you know what? At this point, he's got nothing to live for. It's kind of a suicide mission.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
So, yeah. I would have preferred maybe not so... Well, to be fair, destroyed a lot of buildings. However, I didn't have any connection with any of the characters in danger.
No.
Because of the way they're doing. So it don't matter who died.
No.
You're going to wipe out like 2/3 of the earth, and they'd be like, well, this is just jabronis on the TV that I don't care about. So it didn't matter. Oh, buildings got destroyed? Oh, hey, that's a consequence of this majestical Kryptonian fight.
Yeah.
Right?
But also,
if you build me characters that I cared about within the movie, be like, oh no, that's quite bad. That's quite what's going on there is actually quite bad.
Yeah, you're like that's a bit.
Yeah.
That's a bit.
All I'm seeing is building blocks getting destroyed, and I'm like, all right, well, I don't exactly care about this building block over here.
Yeah, this generic building block. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, with no one in the offices apparently.
And for we know, it could have been deserted anyway. So
yeah, I'm not defending. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out.
Yeah, same. I also did like when Zod knew about it. When he took off his suit, he's like, you know what, I don't need this suit. And he just learned how to fly in that instant because he's amazing. You're like,
Yeah.
Which makes sense because he's genetically bred to be a warrior. So he will pick up things like that kind of quicker.
Well, okay. Now, here's the thing, right? Yes, and you are completely correct, right? And it makes sense of what earlier as well when they had the skirmish.
Yeah.
And then Superman decided to just keep on running his mouth and tell Zod how to use his powers, and like, Kal-El, just shut up.
Yeah.
Or, just please shut up, because you're actually helping him.
Yep.
But then, obviously, whether you like the suit or not, it gives the good action scene at the end, and whether you like destruction or that's why. But even prior to that, where Zod's not mastered his powers, Zod in his first form, we still called it, right?
Yeah.
He's fighting with non-flying abilities. He's adapting with the running jumps and stuff. Like when after the world ending has been destroyed and it wiped out a Metropolis, Ground Zero, massive crater, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Superman just flying to Zod, and then Zod's like, "Yo, I'm just gonna running bolt jump at you, while you, come across the air at me." And he's like, "Yeah." So when you throw him up, he's climbing on buildings to come down.
Yeah, which makes sense because he doesn't know how to fly yet. Yeah, and then it kind of makes sense because he observed Superman for that long. But okay, if he can do this, I can do this, and he done it.
One minor moment I liked as well, how when after Superman kind of gave himself up, to the military, and they have him in handcuffs, they walk him down the hallway, right, and then basically all this time he's just like, I'll just break out these handcuffs, because I could have just done that this long, and because I am kind-hearted Superman in this moment, anyways. Because I want to talk to Lois Lane, I'll just decide. I'll just allow you to have your security, but really, this is paper to me.
Yeah, that kind of showed that if he was trying to be a force of good, well, he is a force of good. Like he could, like you said, he could just broke out and just made himself. It's just that handcuffs aren't really impressive because Vin Diesel can break out handcuffs and so can Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff like that. But it's just like. It just shows when he's talking to them that literally you guys have no power over me, but I'm allowing you. I respect your laws and I'm going to abide by them. So it's like, makes sense. And then
and he's kind of, I want to say happy throughout the moment, but he's not being causing them any grief or anything like that. He's just like, this is fine by me. I'm cool.
Exactly. He's a great guy. And then another bit I really enjoyed, that is another controversial bit for people, when he kills Zod.
Okay, hold on, no. I think you're probably okay. Did you word it correctly when you said enjoyed?
No, I like that whole scene. Not enjoyed that him killing someone, but I like that whole scene.
It's one of those things where if you could have worded it correctly if that's what you meant. If Zod was such an asshole heel, right, that he deserved to die, then you're like, when he died, he deserved it, and I enjoyed it. That's one thing, right? But is that what you meant?
No, I just like
okay. So
the reasoning for killing him made sense to me.
Okay. Gotcha. Right.
Like,
wait. So in your eyes, it was a neat moment that concluded the story and made sense. Not that you literally enjoyed it.
No. I don't. That'd be weird if I said I enjoyed someone getting a net broken.
Yeah.
But like, it made. For this story, and even not in this story, like realistically, what he done made sense. Because even Zod said, "Whatever you do, I'm going to keep coming." So
I think the argument for most of these things is when you're the writer, you can write whatever you want. Yeah. But generally speaking, if I decide that I want the situation to happen, no matter what, whether it makes story sense or not, or I want to lead to the situation, then it's going to happen.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, whether the characters within the story would do that or not, that's that's a different case.
Either here or there,
but it's a controversial one that leads people to keep on talking about it years later. All right.
Yeah.
So whether you say that's a cool moment or not is one of those things where you're like, okay, it goes both ways, right?
It goes both ways.
But it definitely makes the film stand out.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
It does.
Well, it negatively or positively. Okay. I mean, I'm on the side that is saying, there's you could have written it other ways, but
yeah, you could have, but it.
But Zack Snyder or whoever wrote it decided to go this way, and that's all right. Notoriety for the film.
If I was to write, I would have done the same thing because, all right, what could you... like, because of how powerful Zod is, where could you go with him next? So you still got to take him off the table by killing him, don't you?
Yeah, but you like.
But then you get the mess what comes next.
I mean, look. However, whatever was executed on screen is just you can write whatever you want if you're the writer. That's it at the end of the day. Yeah, you could have. If you wanted Zod not to die, you could have set something up previous to the story, and then later on built towards it. Where if you want to say depowered Zod, then at least you could have fed that around, or put him in stasis, or put him back in the Phantom Zone, or whatever.
Yeah, but then you got to explain the Phantom Zone. That's the problem there. You got. To
they said the Phantom. Well, yeah, but because that hasn't been written in, you can't force feed it. I could say blah blah blah, but it's not there for me to go and attach the strings because there's no strings because that's not what they were trying to lead to.
Yeah, of course.
But I will say this, right? I will say this: the fact that he did it, all right, done. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it was a family I was attached to, as in if Superman made friends with an ex-family, if there was a story built and that was a particular family he'd befriended, or someone he'd known or whatever, then it'd make more sense.
No.
So you would okay. No,
it makes the same sense.
But so I suppose in the context of the story, okay.
Yeah.
If it was Lois Lane about to get her head zapped off by the beam, the heat vision, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had Clark break Zod's neck.
Yeah.
I get it. All right, I get it.
Yeah, I'll get that.
Random family number 2, right?
Yeah. So right. Okay. Wait. So you're saying it would have been okay if you just let random family die?
No, I'm saying if there was an attachment to it, and he did it, and the stakes were higher. When I say higher, I just mean give me something rather than some jabronis over there that I had never met before, right? Yeah. Not to say he should have let them die either, but you're saying if it's executed like that, you'd be like, well, they're gonna die. He knows them. There's something emotional attachment to them.
But
yes, he did it. He might have not liked it, but they're his friends.
But like the thing is, it's nothing to do with emotional attachment. It's what Zod said when Superman.
No, I mean as a character, as the Superman character, because he could have done multiple different things, right? But if you're saying, say, if it was someone he'd known and he cracked sort of neck to stop them getting killed, that's more. As an audience member, I feel that's more allowable.
That's more allowable, right? But that's like easy writing.
Yeah, but then when you have them conveniently land in a situation where Superman has him in a headlock to break his neck, yeah, it's also convenient writing as well.
I get that, but like it's the whole Zod saying, oh, "You can save these people, but I'm going to kill more people."
Oh yeah, no, that's different. I mean, 'cause the line that was fed is fine. I'm just saying.
I suppose think it didn't need no emotional connection or whatever.
I think he needed something to sway the audience watching it to say, okay, that might have been a lethal finish, but I accept it. Rather than here where people are like, no.
It's like I personally think with Superman, you're never going to win with people because people want Superman one way, people want Superman another way.
It is true. And some people want to watch a Superman film that really doesn't have a Superman character in it. Yeah. Whether like some people who have put their opinions on this film is like, I like this film because Superman doesn't act like Superman. It's like, well, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. But then you get people like comic book fans are, Superman's boring anyway. He's too perfect. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's one of the characters you're never gonna sort of win.
Yeah,
I'm in the middle ground.
There is a middle ground somewhere, but like you say, look, if it's okay, I'm sure there's many an MCU movie as well because I'm not just picking on this, right? Or non whatever universe movies, right? Yeah. Say the Phantom, right? The Phantom from whatever universe, like that, with Billy Zane, okay?
Yeah.
People could have hated on that, and people do hate on that.
Yeah.
The fact is, though, it doesn't take itself seriously. Kind of helps it absorb some of the criticism because when you're watching it, you're like, "This is dumb fun," but it knows it's dumb fun. They let it slide. I like Batman and Robin over Batman Forever because it's just stupid and it knows it's stupid. You know, no one in that film has taken anything seriously.
No.
Whereas I think Batman Forever, they tried to be a little bit serious, but tried to not, and they didn't know what tone they were going for in the middle because you got two guys just acting really, really like they're in completely different films.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. But that's yeah. So not to pick on this film in particular, just saying.
All right. Yeah, I get what you mean. Totally.
Okay. So onto Batman vs Superman. Oh, by the way, you notice how Man of Steel is so controversial that we even we would even discuss it on different viewpoints and stuff like that. But as I said before, if this was not a Superman film, it'd actually be I'd accept it more. It just doesn't feel like a Superman film.
Yeah, but it depends on what kind of Superman you like. But I totally get what you mean.
Okay, so here it's similar stuff going on here, right? But I will say this, right? Batman's first introduction scene, where he's like a vampire, right? I liked it, actually. The whole introduction of Batman when they first go to Gotham and the police are going to rescue the kidnapped Asian victims.
Yeah,
right?
The sex trafficking.
Well, no, to be fair, you don't know what it is, all right?
Well, they kind of say it is that, but go on.
Oh, yeah, okay, maybe. I just didn't want to stereotype these guys, but yeah, and stereotype Asian girls in prison cells either. The police are there to try to help the girls. The girls just, no, he's here, and they pull the cell back like they're so scared.
Yeah.
And then when the cop comes in, and it's like slightly out of focus in the corner, and when it focuses more in, you see Batman just holding on to the corner.
Yeah, I like that bit.
And then when he disappears like a vampire, that was a bit supernatural, right?
Yeah.
But just before that, everything else I liked. I think it's the CGI bats or something like that. Or maybe the way he crawls across the ceiling was a bit weird.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It was.
He could have just thrown a smoke bomb and then he wasn't there anymore while the smoke disappeared. You had to see him CGI disappear, right? But that doesn't matter. I'm saying I liked how the scene was done, horror style.
Yeah. I did like the bit where you see Bruce Wayne for the first time and he's basically reliving the Batman vs Superman. The Man of Steel film where he's trying to save all those people and that stuff.
Yeah. The opposite viewpoint of what was happening on the attacks and stuff. Yeah. It's quite neat as well. How that motivates him to be completely blinded, right, by revenge is another thing.
That's questionable. Yeah, I agree with that.
But the scene itself of showing everyone running away and he's running into it is pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Even though how helpless he is. That he can't do anything while these quote-unquote gods or demigods, whatever, are fighting each other when causing destruction. That was cool as well.
Cool.
If you watch it as a scene, right?
Yeah.
When he consumes his character to the point where logic doesn't matter,
Yeah. Once you get over the logic doesn't matter anymore, it's a more acceptable film for me. If you're not.
Because if he says something like. Even there's a 1% chance he's our enemy, we've got to take that as absolute certainty.
You're like,
now, I said to I spoke to someone about that, right?
Yeah.
And I said that Batman's just Bruce Wayne's just causing so much trouble then in that case, because just no matter what you say to him, he's just made up his mind and that's going to be that, right? Yeah. And what he said is like this. No, that's not what the sentence meant, even though that's exactly what Bruce Wayne said, right? He was like, no, we've got to take it as the 100% certainty that it is a 1% chance that he could be our enemy. I'm like, no, that's not what it comes across, and that's not what he meant, because he would have said that if that's what he meant.
And even that maths makes no sense. But sure, all right, open to interpretation, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I if he just said, see, I can get why he'd be like, yo, we got to make contingencies because look what these Kryptonians done, right? And whether Superman is on our side or not. We have to be prepared.
Yeah.
That logic is fine.
That logic is sound. Yeah.
Yeah. I will have to say the conveniency of having kryptonite created just for this. Well, okay, it makes sense to tailor it off the world engine in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
To start terraforming the world to Krypton, and also creating the weaknesses to Kryptonians that would be on Krypton.
Yeah.
Makes sense as well.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All the Batman action scenes are really good.
Yep, they're great.
The fight ones, anyways.
Yeah.
The car chase scene is actually a very visually striking scene as well.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to say about Batman. It was the Punisher in the car doing all this crazy stuff. Fair enough, right?
Yeah.
Batman doesn't act like Batman, but as a scene in itself, it actually looks really good.
He acts like Batman for this film.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah. You're saying, the Batman version of the presented here would do such things.
Yeah. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yes, it's most of this with the Zack Snyder stuff. It's just like, look, take it as it is. This is a version of these characters for this continuity, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, or whether you think they would do things like this or not. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
So once you
so you'll enjoy it more if you do that.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. Sadly.
Yeah. I don't like. Okay, the Batman vs Superman actual fight.
Yeah.
I thought it started off pretty well because he's like not just like I'm gonna punch this guy in the face. I've got stuff set up that aren't just guns. He's had the sonic beams or whatever. But I would have liked it more if he had other things set up for the fight. He had 18 months to build, right? And he decides, you know, I'm gonna punch him in the face with my Kryptonian weapon that I stole a week ago.
I kind of understand that.
And I will say, I mean, physically, Bunny gets his hands on the Kryptonian because of so it makes sense. However, part of this fight, when I say clunky, what I mean is when Batman moves around beating thugs or whatever, he is so smooth.
Right? Yeah.
Here he is in the armor, which slows him down, which makes a lot of sense why his fighting style is different and what he's doing is like just the very basic of movements.
Yeah.
It's not as spectacular as the warehouse fight.
No.
But it's like, oh, well, yeah, but considering what he's in and who he's fighting, yeah.
Yeah. You know, you got to sacrifice speed for strength, I guess, you know. Yeah. And he knows like Superman's like 18 times stronger than him.
Yeah. I do have the bit where Batman's punching Superman in the face and then each punch has less and less impact than the previous.
Yeah, he's getting his powers back.
Yeah, and then the final punch, Superman just no-sells him. I'm like, yeah.
I like that part.
And then Batman just looks at him and craps himself.
Yeah, I did like that part. That was pretty fun. Their fight was pretty decent.
The Doomsday fight, like with all these fights, it was a spectacle of a fight as well.
Yeah.
Switch your brain off, enjoy it. Yeah.
Like, you know what? I didn't mind Doomsday.
Yeah.
But I don't like the route they took to get to Doomsday.
Is it the logic of Luthor going? Okay, no, I don't even mind how they created him, right? But I don't like the logic of Luthor going. So I made you out of my blood, right? That means you obey me, correct? It's like, Luthor, you've missed a couple of steps here.
Yeah. Because.
However, if you put on the flip side that he's also consumed by his hatred of Kryptonians.
Yeah.
Then it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know. He'd be like, I'm a god and I can control everyone because whatever, right?
Yeah.
He's just like similar route to Batman, except they're just going to. They want the same thing. They're just going through different
ways.
routes,
yeah.
And neither of their thought processes are particularly sound either.
No.
Yeah.
It's very broken.
Yeah.
It's very broken.
I went a cool sequence, but it didn't happen. Was you know when you would actually no, it's kind of cool because it didn't happen as well. But you know when Batman breaks into the facility, to take the kryptonite from LexCorp.
Yeah.
But all we see is the remnants of what happened. Oh, well, that was a neat choice, actually. You did. Yeah. I mean, it would have been a cool action sequence, but it's just like, no, we'll just show you the result, the conclusion of it, and
sometimes
you see stuff has happened and how he's done it. You know, you don't need to stealth. You don't need a stealth sequence there. It's just like that. It's probably better if you don't know.
Yeah.
How we did it.
Imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just maybe not be visually as cool. Even though I say Zack Snyder does do cool stuff, it's just like, yeah. Seeing it's like the magic tricks where you don't know how it's done. You just see that and you go, yo, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
That enforces the ability of Batman.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I like it still. Yeah. That was.
Wonder Woman had a cool intro sequence during the Doomsday fight where she's like finally in her suit. She's blocking the beams, and she had a good musical cue as well.
Yeah, I like her musical cue.
Yeah. But it was introduced at the perfect moment as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One bit which was a bit weird though was I thought she was with you. It's like that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't get it.
Okay, so I can she appears, she saves Superman, so I can understand. And I mean, she appears to save Batman. Superman's no prior knowledge of her, right?
No.
So I can see why he would say, "I thought she was with you." Okay. Yeah. Batman has met her.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. So how can he say, "No, I thought she was you"? No, dude, you've met her. You saw
you had contact with her.
Yeah.
You know, at no point did you see this guy interact with her. So why are you making assumptions?
Yeah.
He's only making an assumption because she saved you.
Yeah. Idiot. But yeah.
Yes, of course you're going to say Superman thought she was a Kryptonian. I mean, sorry, Batman thought she was a Kryptonian. But Batman's already met her a couple of times. He would have known.
And he saw that weird hat thing he stole from Lex Luthor. Yeah.
But let's just say if she appeared out of the movie from nowhere, right? Yeah. And no one met her beforehand, that would make more sense.
It would.
But then it would just be like she appeared out of nowhere just to be the final battle. Would have been less action.
Yeah, exactly what I say. And he got that like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. Yeah.
I will say as well, the costume looked pretty good for Wonder. I think the bustier looks a bit big, right?
Yeah.
The chest plates, but whatever, right? That's not the point. I will say also that it shows her partial invulnerability because it must be damn cold in Gotham, right?
Yeah.
And look, she's exposed her arms and her legs. Yeah. So, yeah.
Wait, what?
You know, like when she's in costume.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Gal Gadot was cold when she was filming that.
Oh, right, yeah. I thought you meant like Wonder Woman in general. I was like, wait, what? That's why I got confused. But yeah, no, I get what you mean.
But as part of the character, it's just like, you know what? This is such a little thing going on here where, we want to, maybe, I don't know if there's a choice for their female to show more skin. And to be fair, Wonder Woman wears a costume like that anyways, right?
Yeah.
Though in the comics, she was wearing tights as well at the time. But not the point. The point is to just say, you know what? She's not even cold wearing that. Fair enough. Fair dues.
Yeah.
You know, that's the vulnerability right there.
Also, I liked Superman's death. I thought that scene was pretty good.
Okay. How it got to the scene? This is me taking a pause because I don't want to crap all over it. Right?
Yeah.
But it is one of those things where it's like, conveniently you give him the thing that's the weakness for him to go and do it. Whatever, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. I did watch someone's recut the film.
Yeah.
It was it combined Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman together to one film.
Yeah.
And it was like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
The problem is, of course, the first portion of that entire fan cut didn't have any Batman in it because there wasn't enough Batman. It was only in the back half of the film.
Yeah.
But they rejigged the whole, where Jonathan Kent sacrifices himself. Well, he doesn't really sacrifice him, but he tells Clark not to save him on the freeway thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now they jigged that towards where this sequence was. Where Jonathan Kent he put his hand out like, "Oh, I'm going to sacrifice myself for your safety." Because son.
Yeah.
And it was a reflection of this sequence. Where he's like, I'm going to sacrifice myself for the world and you, Lois, because I love you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, oh yeah, but because it's just like I'm just saying there was more Nia there because of that, how it reflects.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Whereas here it's just like, yeah, okay, I get why you're doing it, Superman. I get why you sacrifices. Yeah, were there other options? Like, could you have just told Wonder Woman to go and pick up the spear or whatever, whatever, right?
Yeah, but then, like, it's Superman's fight. Really, like, this is all comes back to him, so he has to finish it. So that makes sense. Like, if someone else finished it, it'd be like,
all I'm saying is, yes, the logic is he's basically like, if we're humans, right? You decide to run towards me with a grenade, and you spite yourself. You spite yourself to spite me.
Yeah.
You're like, fair enough.
Yeah. Base.
Even though you could have wore armor, or when you're running with a grenade, you can't really do that. But when I say you could have run at me with a force field, no, I'm gonna whatever. Visually, it looks good, right?
Yeah.
Whether you like how he did it or not, okay.
Yeah.
It was quite, all that electricity and whatever, and the fact that Doomsday has the Hulk ability of when he regenerates, he gets stronger. But that's also Doomsday ability because he's evolving. That's a Broly ability, in fact. He's just evolving as he's fighting. Conveniently, when his arm gets chopped off, he creates some sort of piercing. I don't know what it is, right? Well, rather than recreating a fist.
Yeah, his bones become like a knife sort of thing.
I know, yeah. So let's just say Wonder Woman chopped his head off. Is he gonna create a stump that's a sharp object to have his head? I don't know.
I don't know. He might regrow a head. I don't.
yeah, exactly that. Yeah. But that's what the convenient thing. Cause like, so when you chop off his head, he regrows their head, right? But when you chop off his fist, he regrows a pointy thing. Okay.
Like, you know how that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. If this was the comic book version of Doomsday, where he adapts to the situation, like his body would adapt to whatever it's going through in it, then it would have made sense that his arm turned into like a knife.
Yeah.
But this version doesn't make sense, if that makes sense. Because he's like a Kryptonian abomination. So his bones turn into that doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. More like you're saying, if it's the comic book origin where he was created from DNA and he's just thrown out to the wolves and they just got his DNA and de-evolved it and then threw him out to wolves again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just kept on going and then he became what he is.
Yeah.
And he can't get killed the same way twice.
Yeah.
But, whatever. But it's not that bad of a film, to be fair. There's worse than the DCEU, if I'm honest.
Okay, first of all, let me just say, these characters are consistent with what is presented, right? And they are kind of consistent throughout.
Yeah.
So whether you like the characters or not, this is the take on it.
Yeah.
And the take on it makes sense from the point where Zack Snyder started it, okay?
Yeah.
So when you say there's worse...
Yeah.
Allow for the take of the characters. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But like, to be fair, the story's not bad in this film either. The next film, the story is pretty terrible, if I'm honest.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to move on to that? I mean, like.
Yeah, if you have to.
Yeah. Look, I don't. This film's all right. Right. Visually, it looks really good.
Yeah.
With the tone, with the action sequences and stuff like that. I just be like, if I'm watching it, I'll put it on the side.
Yeah.
And try not to pay too much attention to the story because then characters' motivations start getting very murky.
Yep. Flip-floppy. Yeah.
I mean, not to say you can just sit down and talk about the situation, but it's just a simple denial of everything else that's going on just because I have my particular goal. That's weird.
Yeah.
However, you can also base that on realism. Where
because
exactly, you're saying, like, when you're saying before, based on the real world and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
There are the people in like divorce cases or the people who are drug addicts or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they just be like, this is I'm the main character of my world, and everyone is trying to stop me from getting what I want. Okay?
Yeah.
Whether you like that logic or not, that is realistic logic.
Yeah, exactly.
The druggie who wants money from you, your friend, his friends, all start stealing stuff. Everyone's trying to stop me getting my fix. It's like, well, no, you're causing trouble for everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. Deny your own, as much as you, and all the divorcee. I'm just stereotyping, of course. When people have bad divorces, right? Yeah, they're just stopping me getting my share of what I deserve. Like, yeah, but then the other divorcees also thinking that as well.
Yes, it's like I'm gonna do much damage to you, even if it does damage to me, because I'm that annoyed.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when you say realism or not, people like this exist in the real world. Which also speaking of that, you don't really have respect for them for doing that, which is a problem when you start applying stuff like that.
Yeah.
In the world of fiction.
Yeah.
To people you're meant to be siding with as well.
Yeah. Makes it hard.
Yeah.
It makes it hard to like anyone in this film. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Other than that, look, let me just say, this film is probably actually realistic, but you don't want to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Suicide Squad, 2016.
Yeah.
I like how when they introduce. Okay. I didn't like certain things like they try to take too much of the tone of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But I did like how they showed Deadshot's first mission when he went to kill whoever it is that was killing.
Yeah.
And then the people tried to decide not to try to smart mouth him and not pay him. And then he's like, well, you know what? If you don't pay me, this guy's going to talk, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to double my price.
Yeah.
I did like that take on Deadshot.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Will Smith, I think is a very charismatic Deadshot to the point where you're like, yeah, but he's a hired hitman and a killer, and you don't care about anything else. But, I mean, like his subject, yeah.
Yeah.
But because he's Will Smith and he delivers it with such charisma, you're like, he ain't such a bad guy.
He's not that bad.
Literally, he's a murderer.
Yeah, but he has a daughter. He's not that bad.
Yeah. Which is like, as far as siding with the character goes, well done.
Yeah. Like, he's the only him and Diablo would say the only characters you got. Like, okay, you know what? They can be likable.
Yeah.
The others just seem like, don't get me wrong, I liked Captain Boomerang in this film, but what does he actually do?
Yeah, he's there to be there, even though Jai Courtney done well for what he was given, right?
Yeah. And
he's just there to be like semi-comedic. Yeah.
But
he's quite charismatic as well. As in, when he's there and he's doing stuff. I'm not sure if I love the pink unicorns thing, but whatever.
Yeah, sure. Trying to be funny, but it goes nowhere as well, which is the kind of stupid thing about it as well.
Yeah. So, but we know who the main characters of this film are: Deadshot and Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I did like how Batman made his appearance, and he's just like when Batman arrested captured Deadshot. And basically, he's gonna beat up the Deadshot in front of his own daughter.
Yeah,
right?
and he looks around like, oh.
No, yeah, but he's like, don't do it, don't make me do it. It's kind of, and Deadshot's daughter says, you know what? I know you're a villain, right? Yeah. I know you love, like, I know you. We have a family bond, but at the end of the day, this guy is gonna beat the crap out of you. Probably. He's even if she doesn't know the context of Batman, look at him, he's fearsome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't. I mean, we're not going to say this Batman's going to murder Deadshot because, but yeah, it's like good on you, kid. You basically saved your father from being killed or
being crippled, basically.
Yeah, whatever he was going to do in that scene that we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
and the fact that she's hugging him after he's got arrested. When the police come to rescue him, he's like, yeah.
I'm trying to think of other cool bits.
I like some of the costumes actually as well because like in this universe so far we only see the Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman costumes.
Yeah.
These costumes are kind of more bombastic, but at the same time a bit based on the characters' personalities.
Yeah.
Now I'm not sure about what Harley Quinn was wearing, right?
Yeah.
Because it's hot pants, right, and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And you're going into a battle. Not to say, okay, right, whatever I can do, whatever, that's that, yeah? But it's just not practical.
No, no.
I will say as well, but when you see wrestling, They wear skin tight stuff because you have to be able to maneuver without having tearing whatever you're wearing.
Yeah.
Fine, right?
Yeah.
But you're not protected, Harley Quinn, at all.
Yeah.
Not even to say, oh, you should wear a costume with protection or whatever. But it's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Could have been.
I mean, that stunt woman, whoever's the stunt woman, right?
Yeah.
When you're falling around in a t-shirt, you're taking impact.
Yeah. At least she could have had like, some sort of like even like shoulder pads and elbow pads and stuff like that.
Well, the thing is, her costume in the Suicide Squad with the jacket and the tights, made more sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, a lot more sense.
Even if they like in this movie where she had her t-shirt and her hot pants, right? And then they basically said you're gonna go into a big fight with that, and then just threw her something to wear, and then she's kind of not to wear on top of it or something, and then she put something together that's kind of a bit more for the situation. Yeah, if they were going on a stealth mission, right? If they were invading the building for a stealth mission, whatever. Even though you might not wear bright colors like that, it's just like, yeah, but you're not fighting an alien horde.
No.
Yeah.
Or whatever they are. They
yeah. Let's see. Yeah. To be fair as well, though, Katana's costume looked good. However, she's not practical. I mean, how defensive is that costume?
Yeah. Even though he was just a character just to be there.
Yeah. Well, no, to stole the worst swords, whatever the Rick Flag was saying, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Katana, Karen Fukuhara did pretty well for a character that doesn't say much.
Yeah, who does nothing.
She comes across like she'll mess you up.
Yeah, she does, but she again doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's the only problem with the film. Yeah. Of her in this. Which made him write her out of Arrow because she was in this film, and you can't have at the point there was some weird contract thing where they couldn't have two characters in different universes. That's why they wrote her out of Arrow.
Yeah.
Which is actually Arrow. Katana was actually doing stuff, but whatever.
But whatever. Yeah. Were you saying you didn't like this? Did you not like this film, or what was the?
I can't think of anything I thought was cool in this film. That's the problem.
I actually have to say I liked certain sequences in the film where, so they have to go and rescue someone that's in the middle of the city. Okay, that's their mission.
Yeah,
right. And then it turns out they had to rescue Amanda Waller, the person who put all the collars on them in the first place.
Yeah,
right. I like that. And then she's like, "Yeah, your mission was all to rescue me. Hold on a second, right? I'm gonna shoot everyone in the facility."
Yeah, I didn't like that, but I was like, that was stupid.
No, but I liked it because it's like perfectly in character.
Yeah, it's perfectly in character. I was like, but what?
No one's gonna know about the mission. And I sent you guys to the suicide mission to rescue me. And I was like, you're a joker. You're a joker, right? But I allow it because you're heartless.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst of the worst. Yeah, that's what she said. Put him in a hole and threw away the hole. Yeah, and then you're the worst. You're the worst. You damn hypocrite.
Yeah, she's the worst. Actually, to be fair, no. I didn't mind the last battle with whatever the bad guy was. I don't really know what it was.
It looks good, but it didn't quite make a lot of sense.
No.
Yeah. That's another one of these things where it's just like, right?
Pretty much. Huh.
Yeah. Like, if you were like, snip that scene out of the film and just give me like 10 minutes sequence, however long it is, right? And watching it go, that's actually a cool battle. Right? Yeah. But then when they say, oh, but we're family because we're apparently Fast and Furious, right?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, but you just met, you just kind of, you didn't have a bonding sequence.
No.
So, yeah, and you could say you're going through the trenches in this, but there's not enough jeopardy for you guys to go, we're separate, but then we come together as a team because we're all trying to survive. However, I did like the bit where they went to the pub.
Yeah, that bit was pretty cool.
And it was like more character moments there to paint what was going on towards the final battle. And I think that was meant to be their bonding bit, but they didn't really kind of.
No. It's like, oh, we're all messed up. We're friends.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
And
or yeah, exactly.
scenes later, we're family. Okay, that's a huge jump, but sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
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 Underwhelming. This film.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I the bit at the end as well where Bruce Wayne is talking about putting his own teeth, like, you know, he's mouthing off to him by the water, and she's like, "Yo, I kind of know you're Batman, but I'm not gonna say it
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it out loud
because you threatened me about putting my team away.
Yeah.
Well, I'll also remember I got dirt on you, so
Yeah. But this made
but
no
it's
sense.
one of those things where it's just like it's not even spoken; it's just in the eyes.
Like, the funny thing about it, but makes no sense as well, is like, he goes, "Oh, my friends are whatever." Basically saying that, trying to say the Justice League already exists, but they don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was kind of a weird, like, wait, what?
Yeah, me and my friends will do, unless of course, and I know what you're saying, right? By the way, because he is referencing blatantly the Justice League.
Yeah.
But does he actually mean him and his Gotham Knights, right? That'll do. Even though there's no reference to them before.
Yeah.
He was like, me and my friends, that being Nightwing, Red Hood, and Batgirl, and you know.
But then, do they even exist in this
No,
universe?
exactly.
Yeah.
So it has to be, like you're saying, it has to be the Justice League. Well, 99% sure it's the Justice League, right?
Yeah.
But like you're saying, they're not friends at this moment either.
No.
So when me and my friends will do it for you, me and my friends being me, Batman, my friend Wonder Woman, and my boy Alfred.
Yeah. Because Superman's dead. So,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I did like how the suit on. Speaking about CG, right?
Yeah.
The Killer Croc suit was practical,
Yeah, that looked good.
and that looked really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It must have taken ages to be like, you know. I think the guy was in makeup for 3 hours a day, like the Drax makeup. But you'd be like, but that looks good, and it's better than CG because it's physically there.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, the costumes all look good.
One thing I found I actually liked, ironically, because it's hilarious to me. Enchantress, her weird accent and / I'm being menacing while talking, but I'm looking like I'm having a seizure sort of thing.
So Scarlet Witch times 10 is basically what we're going for, right?
Yeah, that's like,
because Scarlet Witch does those little funny movements, right?
Yeah.
But this is like she's dancing. She's like doing belly dancing, hip swaying, and she thinks she's Shakira.
Yeah.
Exactly what is going on with you, woman.
Like
you say, she's taking some super like nightclub drugs that are of some, you know, not like what's that stuff that Batman in Batman Begins was taking? The neurotoxins, whatever it was. That Lucius was. I have to come up with a cure for. Someone's passing out a whatever hallucinogenic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Like, whoever chose this to be like for them, like her directions. But yeah, we want you to do this. Why would you pick that?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I also thought, as wacky as that was.
Yeah.
I did like. Okay, there's two bits I could say I liked her. With when when Enchantress is revealing herself, like when Amanda Waller says to Enchantress to reveal herself in front of all the military generals, whatever, and you get Cara Delevingne's hand, lying down, and then you get the Enchantress hand coming up underneath it, and then it flips over.
Yeah.
That was a cool sequence. Whether you say the costume or it looked bad or she looked painted really silly or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That particular section looked good. I also found funny as well how Slipknot was just there to get his head blown off.
Yeah.
Like no introduction. He was basically canon fodder completely and utterly. Just got introduced to be a slimy worm, right? For the 30 seconds that he was introduced for, the 10 seconds that he was introduced for.
Yeah.
Right. And then they take him on the mission. Then Captain America talks to him. He tries to escape and he gets blown up. And like, yeah, you knew exactly what you're there for. And it's kind of a laugh of how little that they cared for you as a character.
Yeah, it was
Made
also...
me laugh though. It wasn't a cool sequence to be cool. It was just like, this is actually quite funny because they know exactly what they do with him. And no, we don't care about him.
But like the joke's thing is like was kind of stupid. Like this film's called The Suicide Squad, and automatically as soon as they introduced him, like, yeah, he's dying. We all know this. This is so obvious. Unlike in the sequel where people were just dying here right and center.
Yeah, but in that it was they were named characters and they were given hope spots, and then it just everything fell apart.
Yeah,
it was a setup for the punchline.
Yeah, I know, but like even after that bit, like other main characters sort of die. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a film.
Yeah,
that's all I can really say.
I will say controversial. I could say I enjoyed this film more than I enjoyed Batman vs Superman because.
Yeah, you know what? I'll agree with you.
I'll say, but why though? Yeah. Like you're saying, character-wise, these people made more sense than the Batman and Superman characters, right? If you're talking about consistency, though, obviously from Man of Steel to Batman vs Superman, they did what they did, yeah.
Yeah.
But these people being villains are a bunch, fair enough. That how you introduce me to them, what they do, and they actually seem less villainous than Batman at some points.
Yeah.
They're not. Yes, all right, they are killing people, yeah, but Deadshot killed how many people, and Batman killed how many people.
But like, I wouldn't even say in this film they're villains because what do they actually do that's villainous?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they straddle that line where they do bad stuff and you're meant to like them, whereas Batman does bad stuff and he's meant to be good.
Yeah.
Or this version of Batman, but we'll leave it at that. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. There's some good action sequences in here. They do show off Wonder Woman's skill. Where she's beating up the Nazis in not the Germans, right? They're not Nazis here. Where she has a sequence where she busts into the sniper tower.
Yeah.
And she's just making a mockery of all of them.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Because they show her fighting ability, her super speed and strength, and then mortal humans. And it's not like they're bully. She's a bully, right?
Yeah.
Even though she's kind of like when you're that powerful, it looks cool though. She's sending them flying.
Yeah.
Also, when they're firing a machine gun at her in the trench, and she's just like blocking all that stuff.
Yeah, but
that looked really neat as well.
Yeah.
But that was built towards that as well. That's why, as the scene by itself is epic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
There's build towards it, makes it even kind of better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like, and this is an incidental thing, right?
Yeah.
She's not meant to be American, okay? Obviously, she's meant to be some Mediterranean, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Greek-ish. Gal Gadot's not Greek, but she's got that kind of foreignish accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good that everyone else, all the Amazons, had to adapt their non-foreign accents to that.
Yeah, it did.
But it's consistent with what the Amazons are meant to be. So that's even better, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I get what you mean. What else? There. I liked, if I remember the beginning, where they sort of show her on Themyscira. Yeah, I liked all that sort of stuff. I think that's pretty cool. Can't remember what else.
Yeah. Steve Trevor's sacrifice at the end.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Like the fact that she was deaf and she couldn't really hear it, but she had to watch it.
Yeah.
Was and then it kind of turned out to go Super Saiyan, and then everything was good up to that point where after she went Super Saiyan, it just went to a CGI battle, and I was like, oh no, no.
But this is comic book films. Every battle at the end, most
but it would have. It kind of was one of those things where you're like, if it was a physical battle where she just wanted to pummel the guy to death and decided not to, but whatever, right?
Yeah.
It kind of made more sense for her to be more physically involved because of her emotions. But, they're like, we got money. We got money to throw at the CGI studio. Kind of turned it down for me.
The CGI, like, I get it for you, like, it brought it down. But in a big blockbuster film like this, you need to have a CGI battle at the end.
You could have involved CGI in the battle. That's what But that's not the here and there, right?
Yeah,
it looked good, the CGI as well, except for when they had Ares' face on
Yep.
his body that didn't quite make sense.
Yeah, that's it. I was like, that was a bit awkward there. Not sure. Okay.
I liked as well the character journey of Wonder Woman where she's like, it's Ares behind everything, right?
Yeah. And
then when it kind of turns out it wasn't. I mean, it was, right?
Yeah.
In the end, right? But there was a secret, but through that entire thing where she realized that guy I thought it was Ares is not Ares, and does that mean humanity is
terrible?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
It was quite good because it's like
and
trying to show her the world's worth saving, except that the world is showing that it's not.
Yeah, and it kind of builds to like what happens between this and Justice League.
Yeah.
Like why she disappears for so long.
But as much as you can say she's naively just believing certain things, it's just like the reality of the situation here, and it's like this might not be that.
Yeah.
And then what does that mean about these people that have sacrificed not going back to Themyscira for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good film.
Yeah. So when they say look at that fish out of water or the character coming into a situation, they actually display that pretty well.
Yeah. Very, very well. Yeah.
Yeah. I did like Dr. Poison, that female poison lady.
Yeah, she was a good, interesting villain as well.
Yeah. And and the military general, I can't remember what his character was it. But I tell you what's a cool sequence that is out of character but also very funny is when they poison everyone.
Yeah.
And then the one mask got thrown in, and then when they close the door, Dr. Poison's like, but the mask won't do anything to save them. And he's like, I know.
Yeah.
And they laughing like Muttley and Dick Dastardly. And I'm like, yeah, okay, all right,
Sure.
whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
You're just villains for the sake of being villains. Oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because I haven't seen this film in ages.
Yeah, it's actually of the film so far.
Yeah,
and probably mostly for the first phase is probably the best one.
Yeah,
because it has a certain lightness that doesn't drown. It's not drowned out in the.
Let's be dark and controversial.
Yeah, exactly. It is what it is in the way that it's just like she's a character. She not bogged down by everything else because she had no background. Yeah. And then later on, as she develops through the film, you're like, you know what? Things aren't as rosy as they seem. And then, to be fair, she steps away from humanity for 100 years, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she shouldn't have, but it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
So I like how to put the ragtag group of people together, her bunch of the Howling Commandos.
Yeah.
Which all had their uses.
Yes.
Except for the one Scottish geezer.
Yeah.
Who, when he got his moment to shine, didn't get to didn't follow through.
Yeah.
But we'll go for the old PTSD because clearly there's something wrong with the guy.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Yeah. I did like how as well when she had the God Killer sword, whatever, and it turned out no, that's not it. She was the God Killer all along. The power was within you. Yeah. Yes.
It was you all along.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and the bait and switch of who Ares was quite neat as well.
That was pretty good. Yeah, that was very neat. I like that.
Yeah, because they it's not like there's a bait and switch for the sake of doing it. The movie's more clever than you because we're the writers. It's just like we've set someone up over here, we'll misdirect you over there. But he was all in the background pushing everything along as you could. When you rewatch, you're like, wait a minute, this character doing stuff that he should not be doing and saying stuff that doesn't go that way,
Yeah.
And when she saves Steve Trevor, like when they way back towards the first third of the film, where she saves Steve Trevor in the alleyway, and then she push kicks all them German jabronis, the German spies. That was pretty cool as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. When she first kind of showed her abilities in the real world, but it just shows you how much more powerful she is than everything else around her.
Yeah.
I mean, when the Amazons were fighting the Germans on Themyscira, they were being able. First of all, not all Amazons are as strong as Diana, right? But secondly, they had ranged weapons, which are more powerful than their arrows.
Yeah, of course.
So the fight doesn't look like such a one-sided beating. But once she comes into the man's world, or whatever you want to call it, right? And then she gets in her first battle there. Them guys, they were proper jobbers.
Yeah, man, big time jobbers.
Yeah.
Jobronis. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that. It was pretty cool. Nice role reversal as well, where it's just like instead of the female always being the
Damsel in distress.
Yeah, exactly. Steve Trevor's the one here, but it's like Chris Pine's just like, you know what? I mean, Steve Trevor is capable.
Yeah.
He's just not as capable as Diana.
No.
But there's no ego about it.
No.
Because he's like, I'm second place to a person with magical, mystical abilities.
Yeah.
It's going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, exactly. No, like even as a character and as the actor, it's just like, yo, she's the star of the film, and I'm good being the supporting character.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to shall we lump them together? Justice League 2017 and Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, let's lump them together.
All right. So we'll just say a sequence, and you just say which cut is in. Yeah.
Yeah.
But mostly all the awesome stuff is in the Zack Snyder cut.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So we'll say for the 2017 cut. Okay. Now, whether people like this or not, because it's inconsistent with the character, but the introduction of Superman with the kids filming on the phone, right?
Yeah.
Forget the CG, right?
Yeah, forget
but
that.
To make you care about the character who doesn't appear for more than half the film.
Yeah.
Right. He is more traditional Superman there.
Yeah.
In the Zack Snyder cut, you're meant to know beforehand. Like, you're meant to have watched all the other films beforehand to get to the point where, like, oh, they'll bring back Superman.
Yeah.
But you had no attachment to him at the beginning. Whether you like the 2017 cut or not, at least there's something that gives you a reason of why they're bringing Superman back.
Yeah.
In more hopeful kind of positioning, rather than this dude. If you're watching out of context, not out of context, sorry. If you're just fresh watching this version, Zack Snyder's version, you're like, there's no build.
Yeah.
To the background of this guy before before they try to bring him back, you just know that he's powerful and they want to bring him back.
Yeah, because we need him because he's strong. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Instead of him being like the heart of the team or whatever.
Yeah. At least they try to course correct and do something. Not saying that it's better or not, right?
Yeah.
But it's just they threw a little something, and then you're like, okay, well, I will say as well, I liked in the 2017 cut the where the thief is breaking into wherever it is in Metropolis, and Batman's pretending to be one of the gargoyles, and then he has a tussle with one of the
parademons.
Yeah, it's a neat sequence. Even though, like I said before, he's talking to Alfred on his intercom with the thief behind him. Yeah. Makes no sense whatsoever.
Nope.
But that's actually quite a neat sequence to show how outpowered Batman is against some of these things. And he just, he's going to be more about gadgets here. And then he never uses gadgets, whatever.
No. Trying to think what else. From the 2017 version, I did enjoy. Well, it's in both versions, but one's more darker than the other. The scene where Wonder Woman saves the people in the bank in England. Was a bank or museum? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that scene.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of in that's in both cuts, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that she basically murdered she just basically you do that double bracelet hit.
Yeah.
On a god, right?
Yeah.
And you know the consequences of it. It's some dude with a gun, right?
Yeah.
You punch him in the face, you probably kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's just like, oh, okay. You obliterated this guy completely and utterly.
Yeah, because in one version, don't you see the person die, right?
No, I don't think you see him die.
Oh, don't know what I'm making it up then.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. Like I think we were talking about before. Basically, you liquefied him.
Yeah, literally, he should be liquefied.
Yeah, traumatized. You know.
Yeah.
Fair enough. If, for example, he's like trying to shoot, like that sequence is cool, right?
Yeah.
but it's one of those other things where you're like, okay, if she at the end, for example, if you wanted the guy to survive, she could have just punted him out of the building, right?
Yeah.
Through the window, and then he's crashed into the police car at the bottom of the outside the museum. Yeah.
Yeah.
That still dealt the damage. At least he's. I want to say whether you say he's alive or not, yeah. But he's got what he deserved then.
Yeah.
Whereas here, he's just like, he's finished. He's completely utterly finished. And then she talks to little kids. Yeah, yo, you could be anything you want.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Oh, a murderer.
All right,
Cool.
that might be nice if you like did not traumatize them by vilifying the dude, except that they're happy you did because they're smiling.
Bit weird.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to. I mean, we're just taking things out of context.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
When you think about it, it's just like, okay, all right.
Sure. Yeah.
Whatever. Let's see. Because it's kind of awkward because you're trying to just not repeat both things
Yeah.
from both the versions of the film. So, and we're just okay. Might be one of those things that let's just say the stuff and then separate it. If it's in both versions, we just say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The when he's rescuing Iris.
Yeah, from the
time sequences, all the ones they're pretty good as well.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Whether you needed some of them or not, like when he needs to touch the mother box, right?
Yeah.
In the Zack Snyder cut, the mother box touches now. The mother box touches the water, whatever it is, the liquid, and as he's running towards it, it reverses.
Yeah.
I'm like, you didn't need to do that because that kind of gives away what your end sequence afterwards that he can reverse time. I would have just done it. He wasn't. He just got to the mother box and powered it up.
Yeah.
It's all throughout the film. He's talking about if he goes past the speed of light, some bad things happen.
Yeah.
So you want him not to go past the speed of light for the film. So when you get to finale and he has to do it,
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't give it away beforehand.
No. That's something you could have kept. Yeah.
But that final sequence when he does do it looks really good.
Yeah, that's cool.
The sequence just before that where Superman's not impressed, I like that actually. Funny enough, as much as I say, Superman gets the hot tag and makes Steppenwolf look like a
little chump. Yeah.
The music when it works, right? The sequence makes it look grand.
Yeah.
And then Steppenwolf's getting this beating, and it's just like, yeah, but the music makes it look like it makes it like the combination of the scene, whether I like how it was done or not, actually comes across really well.
Yeah.
Majestic, so to speak. Yeah, that music makes it. Yeah. Like it's Superman here, and yeah, he's gonna do his stuff.
Yeah, that was great. I do like in both cuts the bit when they resurrect Superman, and he just makes a mockery out of all of them. Yeah,
I don't like how that he did.
Yeah,
but it looked good when he did.
Yeah,
and I can separate my mental processing from that.
Yeah.
I will say I think the Zack Snyder cut was better because the previous cut.
Yeah,
they play old school Superman music in it, and it just doesn't make sense because that's not that Superman.
Yeah.
Also, he makes they get their chances to do a bit more stuff in the Zack Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Where Flash spears Aquaman.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, Flash is running towards Superman. Superman just pats him on the back of the head, like when the Luchas kick their other Lucha people's legs and they go flying out the ring. That's what happened here.
I did like when Superman sees when the Flash is running super fast and Superman looks at him super fast and Flash is like, "Oh, dude can see me." That was a great sell there from the Flash. All Superman did was just turn his eyes, and we're like, "Oh, actually, really cool." Yeah, that's dope.
I think it's good that Diana got the best run against Superman.
Yeah, the headbutt bit was cool.
Yeah. And even though she somehow got depowered between Batman vs Superman and this, right?
I wouldn't say she got depowered.
Well, yeah, but she was taking on Doomsday. He was making a mockery of Superman.
Well, she wasn't taking him on.
Oh yeah, okay. She was doing better than Superman himself.
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
All right, well, okay. I would say that because Superman was just taking the punches and she wasn't taking as many.
Yeah,
but that's one thing
take
for.
him. She knows she can't. So.
Oh, yeah, okay, well. But we're gonna allow for Superman being overpowered because of his resurrection. That's what people are saying.
Yeah, I get that. It makes sense. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think. Well. Did you like the Darkseid appearance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like his appearance, the Snyder Cut appearance more than the other one. He doesn't make an appearance in the other one, does he? No.
I don't think he makes an appearance.
No, he doesn't. Yeah. Steppenwolf. I liked how in the Snyder Cut, Steppenwolf seems more of a threat than he does in.
Well, visually more of a threat, or creatively, story-wise, more of a threat.
Both.
Okay.
Because like in the 2017 one, the Whedon cut version, he seems kind of like not blumbling fool, but he doesn't really do anything threatening. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, when he does stuff, by the way, like when he goes to the Amazonia and he just beats up all the Amazons. All right, fair enough. That looked nice as well. When he beat up all the Atlanteans as well.
Yeah.
Well, no, like the stuff that the action sequences look neat, right?
Yeah.
Where are these people during the final battle? But whatever, right?
Don't need them.
Well, Amazonians, of course, cannot be there. But the invasion of Earth, like way back in the day,
times.
Yeah, that looked neat as well with all the Green
yeah.
Lanterns and the gods and all that stuff.
Yeah, and how it was Darkseid rather than what's his face, like in the original version.
Yeah. Steppenwolf, right? Yeah,
that was better.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the Snyder Cut had more. Okay, it longer runtime, but that's also fluffing the film that is unnecessary at some points as well, because you got a bit too much there as well. Like there's a balance somewhere in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Between having a longer film and that is not necessarily that parts are better, but then parts will be cut to make it like even more better. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, the Snyder Cut version is generally the better film.
Yes. Did it need to be that long? Not really, but yeah.
Yeah. The final battle was pretty good as well.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Because people got to do different things rather than the Flash just being told to run somewhere.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't find this Russian family, even though he can run. I mean, not the Russian. He run at the speed of light or whatever you want to say it is. At least here he's out the fight for a particular reason.
Yeah.
And I have to say, fair dues, by the way, to that one parademon, that nameless parademon that managed to shoot the Flash by using alien calculations somehow.
Yeah. Alien maths, yeah.
Yeah. But it's just like, you're just a nameless jabroni. You're nobody. And you did that, and I'm gonna give you props because, for all we know, you're like one of the million of drones of parademons.
Yeah, you're part of the hive mind or whatever it is. Yeah,
exactly. The fight in Gotham Harbor was pretty neat looking as well.
Yes, yeah, I think about it. But yeah, that's pretty neat.
That's the first skirmish they had with Steppenwolf, and how Diana showed that she's capable of fighting him.
Yeah.
To a certain level. Right.
Yeah.
But they're like everyone there knew their roles. Yeah.
Yeah.
None of you are powerful enough to fight Steppenwolf. Well, she's the most powerful of us here, physically, as well as most experienced in capabilities.
Yeah.
So let her deal with that that big looking guy. That's the main threat, and we'll deal with everything else until and then we'll see where we all stand. Yeah, it's good that they just kind of didn't overestimate themselves going in there.
No.
Yeah, and she was doing pretty well actually.
Yeah, man. she was a threat, like you said. Well, technically, she's kind of a threat. But yeah.
And then Zack Snyder decided, sorry, not Zack Snyder, Steppenwolf decided to get all his parademons to go and help him because he was like, I don't know if you can say he was losing or not or whatever. It's just like he don't like having a someone that's physically threatening towards him. Yeah. Whether you could say one woman was like power level wise, whether she could or couldn't do the job, like beat him up or not, right?
Yeah.
He's just like, yo, parademons, just make sure, just make sure you get her away.
Yeah, get her away because I don't want none of that noise.
I mean, I like Jay White. I can do it by myself.
But why do I need to?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's good.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was the last time you watched this film?
Which version? Actually, I haven't watched both of them since watching the Snyder Cut when they first come out because I'm not putting myself through 4 hours again.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good, but I have to split this film in two to rewatch. I've only watched it the one time as well, but I've watched sequences.
Yeah, same. Watch sequences, but
yeah.
If there was a version where they split it up into hour-long chunks, I'll probably watch it again. But
yeah. The Siler Stone and Cyborg relationship was better around here.
Yeah, I like the relationship in this.
Version. And that is to sacrifice himself. All right.
Yeah.
You know. Lex Luthor and Deathstroke at the end as well. They're teasing a sequel that will never happen. But
that annoyed me. The fact is, I liked it.
Yeah. Lex Luthor acted more like a schemer there.
Yeah.
And Deathstroke looked pretty good in his armor.
Yeah.
You know. And yeah, it was very much a tease. But yeah. It's like if you go to a strip club, right?
Yeah. Good analogy.
Yeah. It's like, well, you see it, but nothing's gonna happen because you ain't getting none of this.
Yeah. Oh. Great.
Oh dear. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other? Oh, you know what? I have to say the nightmare sequences were kind of better, but like you see how what happens, like the ragtag team in the future, how it disconnects from a movie or not, right?
Yeah. Whether
you say it belonged there or whatever, right? The fact that it's like they're not all pristine, perfect condition, you know, they kind of, you know, the alternate Justice League in that era does look kind of messed up.
Yeah, like again, this is another thing I liked, but it's teasing something that's never gonna happen. So
yeah. What did you think? I have to say, as neat as tying back Martian Manhunter to be that military general from Man of Steel is.
Yeah.
There was no build and it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like you said, it came out of nowhere. Like,
I think the initial sequence was going to be a Green Lantern appears to speak to Bruce.
Yeah.
John Stewart. Right, and maybe Hal Jordan / Ryan Reynolds, but I don't know. But that coming out of nowhere would have made more sense.
Yeah, it would have. But
because they're like, you know what, you guys did this, and we were Green Lanterns before. And there's maybe going to be Dark Side invasion. Look, we deal with these space epic before. We'll come and help you now because there's something shady going on. Yeah.
But nope.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah. I think obviously in the Snyder Cut the characters get more breathing room to do and more time to do awesome stuff.
Yeah, they do much more. Yeah.
Yeah. Whether of course, I'm not gonna say it makes sense or not for certain things, but like I said, you watch certain things out in the context of the scene itself. It looks good overall. Sometimes, I mean, this is actually more cohesive than the films previous to it. Like directed by Zack Snyder, like Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman. At least here, even though you can't just walk into this film, it tries to introduce everything that you can walk into it, but because it's trying to introduce lots of characters at the same time, right?
Yeah.
But you can't really. You can't go, I'm going to go and watch this film. Not even the length of it. What I'm saying is, the beginning of it is Superman getting stabbed by Doomsday. So you know, like, as a new audience member watching it, something has gone on previous to this that you must have missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I want to say, but as a culmination of the film before it,
Yeah. It kind of works, yeah.
yeah, it kind of works. Would it have been better if this was kind of like split into two, in the sense that you need to introduce some of these characters before you have them go on as a team? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well,
I think that would have worked better, and
I don't want to say necessarily split this into two either. When you're thinking, there must have been. There had to be a movie in the middle, maybe like if they called it World Finals or something like that, right? Just to set up the team coming together, or if you're like Batman collecting the team together. But that's a sort of TV series sort of thing. You could have an episode in a TV series where Batman goes around collecting all the team members, right? Or if it was like say a TV series, you could have an episode each of him collecting, showing off the team members, and then him appearing at the end, getting them all together. But you can't do it. You can't do it in a film.
yeah. Even other than that, like if like they just copied the Marvel Cinematic Universe route, and everyone had their sort of individual movies before this,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have to waste all your time doing what they did in this film, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's just too much. Well, yes, for a 4-hour cut-long film, all right.
Yeah.
Then you could have if you spread out the characters' moments more, and gave me more depth to the characters, then I can understand why it'd be 4 hours long and get more into it.
Yeah.
Whereas some of these sequences here are superficial in a way.
Yeah.
Right? That should have been cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if they were filled with relevant stuff, you'd be like, okay, time might not be manageable for me to sit down and watch it. However, I get why this stuff is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Live and learn. Live and
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, any other bits and pieces you want to speak about the? I mean, we'll cut we cut it off here because kind of it's phase 1-ish, right?
Yeah, ish. Yeah. Close
Yeah.
enough to it. Yeah.
So we'll have to see how we're gonna
Tackle the
lump the
other
other ones together, but maybe we'll just do one after Flashpoint.
Yeah. That's
the
gonna
Flash
at some
film.
point.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hopefully.
I don't know. We'll see. Because they don't look like they have a phase 2.
No.
All right. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So we should clock off, I guess.
Yeah,
Because,
I guess so.
I mean, you know what I have to say, as far as the discussion goes on how cool moments of the DCEU,
Yeah.
this has quite been a lengthy one actually.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
Even though we've been talking about the ups, this is a more controversial set of films.
Yeah.
Right? And they do have nice sequences within them, right?
Yeah. Give it
I
that,
think
yeah.
it's just because opinions about whether the characters should or shouldn't do certain things kind of drowns that out.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
it does. It does. It really does. Sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that'll be us signing off.
Yes.
I'm the man who's obsessed with lava boxes. Oh, too much on.
I get it. And I am the guy who'd like to see aliens bleed, Carl Charles.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that line in the film. And you have been listening to our in-depth discussion of the DCEU quote-unquote Phase 1.
Cool moments.
Cool moments-ish, and a lot of bitching and moaning about a lot of it.
No. Yeah. Well, no. That's
Not
inherent to
intended, but yeah.
when you discuss cool moments, right? When you, like it, you don't want to look like, oh yeah, we're only going to speak about cool moments as though these negative bits never happen, because that just looks like you're being biased.
Yeah.
Like we're trying to speak about cool moments, but there's bits that you don't like, and you got to point it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What was your favourite film in the first phase of the DCEU? And let us know your favourite moments from them. Is there anything you would change or add to, except for the obvious ones that people have been pointing out already?
Yeah.
Let us know by getting in touch with us through our Twitter, Instagram, drop us an email, drop a comment in the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube. Also, please don't forget to rate this podcast, share it with your friends, and maybe write a review or two if you're listening to this on a podcast app. And till next time, I'll like to thank you guys for taking a trip with us around Multiverse. Bye.
Bye.
You were never a god. You were never even a man. You're letting him kill Martha. What does that mean? Why did you say that name? Find him! Save Martha! Why did you say that name? Martha, why did you say that name?
Stop! Please, stop!
Why did you say that name?
It's his mother's name! It's his mother's name. Right outside the containment center, a dangerous situation, military and police personnel surrounding the area.
Luther, he wanted your life for hers. She's losing time.
The scout ship seems to be drawing power from the city. It's gotta be Lex.
I need you at that ship. I'll find her.
My mother needs me.
Wait. I make you a promise. Martha won't die tonight.
Master Wayne.
Alfred.
Well, I'm sorry for listening in, but I've tracked the Russians' phone to a warehouse near the port. You're locked onto it.
I don't deserve you, Alfred.
No, sir, you don't.